the UN General Gathering has resolutely supported a solution efficaciously inviting on the US to remove its acceptance of Jerusalem as the equity of Israel. The non-binding solution was adopted by 128 states, in 35 abstaining and 9 other vote versus. It came following U.S. CEO Donald Trump card endangered to cut finance aid to such who supported the solution. The Statute of Jerusalem goes to the cardiac of Israel's dispute in the Palestinians. Israel held the east of the town in the 1967 Medium East War and hid the whole town as its undivided equity. The Palestinians complained East Jerusalem as the equity of a next country, and its definitive statute is intended to be debated in the last stages of world negotiations. Israelite independence above Jerusalem has never been recognized at international level, and all countries now support their embassies in Tel Aviv. Yet, CEO Trump card has said the U.S. country division to begin job on driving the U.S. legation. The 193-term UN General Gathering detained the Uncommon Disaster-specific meeting at the query of Arabic and Muslim state, who convicted Mr. Trump card's judgment to inverse many decades of U.S. politics over the monthly. The Palestinians named for the meet following the U.S. vetoed a safety justice solution. How was such to the lyrics adopted on Thursday? The lyrics put striker by Turkey and Yemen does not refer the U.S., but expresses profound pity at latter decisions about the Statute of Jerusalem. It as well says all decisions and actions that claim to include changed the nature, statute, or demographic structure of the sacred town of Jerusalem include no legislative impact, are invalid and empty and must be rescinded in accordance in pertinent resolutions of the Safety Justice. Israel's main secretary Benjamin Netanyahu had pledged to deny the results of the voice, inviting the UN building of put. Subsequently he told in a declaration, Israel thanks to CEO Trump card for his unambiguous stance in favor of Jerusalem and thanks to such countries how elect near Israel, near the true. A representative for Palestine CEO Mahmoud Abbas named the voice a win for Palestine. In a speaking up the voice, U.S. constant member Nikki Haley tells how the U.S. judgment did not predetermine any definitive statute issues, and did not prevent a couple-state decision if the parties coordinated to how. Same joint state will recall the date, on that it was singled out for assault in the General Gathering for the really act of implement our law as a independent nationality, she told. America will put our legation in Jerusalem. How is which the us human beings wish us to do. And it is the law item to do. No voice in the joint nations will do any distinction on how. On environment, Mr. Trump card alerted he might cut finance aid to state who elect in favor of the solution. They get hundreds of millions of dollars and though billions of dollars and later they voice versus us, he told. So, we're observer such votes, he added. Allow them voice versus us. We'll rescue a many. We don't thoroughness. The outcome of the UN General Gathering voice was unavoidable. The US knew how the most of state would voice for the solution. But down there may include been lightly more than abstentions and votes versus rather than had been anticipated. That will be several convenience to the Trump card authority. Down there's slight surprise party in the countries how elect versus, the likes of Micronesia, Nauru and Togo had anything to profit of vote versus the interests of the US, that helps supporting them. Canada, Mexico and Poland were among such how abstained, in a go how will do anything to damage their relations in the US. The votes for the solution of strong US allies, such as France, Germany and the UK, could be seen as a smack in the person for CEO Trump card, but all would claim how they just elect in link in the current statute quo at the UN down there was no press cause for them to selector of the position. But the actual testing of the voice will be if the Trump card authority acts on its threats to revise finance aid to several of such who supported the solution. Too much, will be if the solution will offer crisp pulse to the protests versus the US judgment how include bin departure on always with it was announced, but include yet to very capture flame.